Hello, everybody. GL1 here, and welcome to my online toys museum. Today, I want to talk to you about Dark World, the 1992 game where you are the last hope and the final battle begins. Well, I know why I got this game. I liked all the little figures that came with it, and I liked games that were like Dungeons and Dragons, and there was teamwork, and kind of nobody really was out on their own having to win or lose. And it had lots of nice displays and, just real nice setup. You have all these doors that open and just cards and dice and, really cool figures. And I'll get into that. So, going through the instructions, I actually find it shocking that I was able to play this game. I don't remember playing it, but clearly I did because everything was pretty much put together. So, I had to play it with some friends, but probably I made my own rules up because going through the rule book, I can see how it's kind of complicated, and I probably thought this just seems too tedious and made up my own rules. But anyway, here's what you get with this game. So you get 4 characters. You get, let's see here, this guy here, and he is a knight. And what you had to put together was this hit point meter here. And you had to snap this together, and then you'd rotate this, and it's hard to rotate. You have to hold the figure and then turn it. So every character starts at 8, and as you battle, you can turn it, and then you go down, and it goes down 1. It's pretty hard to turn. I feel like I'm going to break it every time I do. And you get gray weapons. So this is a mace. And as you go through the castle, you look for the treasure chests. And inside the treasure chest is a golden weapon. So here's a golden mace, okay? And what that allows you to do is when you're fighting against the monsters, you have these dice that you roll for how many hits you get. And when you have a gray weapon, you can only roll 2 dice, and when you have a gold weapon, you get to roll 3. So your chances of doing more hit point damage to the monsters goes up. So you have a warrior dwarf character. So everything's like Lord of the Rings, all right? And each one of the characters has a colored space here, which corresponds to the color on their little card holder and weapon. They holds their weapons and their potions and yeah, I guess their weapons if they find a golden weapon and any monsters that they kill. Right. And then you have over here, this is the Ranger. So again, Lord of the Rings, right? Like Strider. So Viggo Mortensen there. So he's got a big sword. I mean, you can give them whatever weapons you want. It really doesn't matter. And then you have the Barbarian. So that is more like Conan because 1992, barbarians were still really popular. And as you can see, unfortunately, the box has some damage to it, but there's a barbarian on it. And the only reason I completely forgot I had this, but I raided my parents' attic to see what is in there, and I found a cache of some really cool things, and this is one of them. I also found Hero Quest, so that's pretty cool too. Now, the monsters. So you have all these great enemies. So you have orcs. So here's an orc, okay? And what they have on the bottom is, well, this one's missing a piece of paper. So what they have is how many hit points that they have. So this is a mummy. He has 1 hit point. You can just randomly assign whatever monster you like, whatever hit points. Because the way it works is certain rooms allow, in the beginning, lower hit points, and as you advance through the dungeon, the characters get higher hit points. So like this one here, okay, so these are the twos, and this is an ogre, right? So, and he's got the potion that he has is a healing potion, and that uses up a turn when you do that. So, and then it comes out. So you use the potion, and then presumably it's difficult. You remove it, and then you put it in. You actually, as it pins into here, and it goes in here, and that's where the potion is stored. The game is played like Dungeons and Dragons in that there's a dungeon master, basically, and there's your big, your dungeon with your throne, and it's the Korak, which is this guy here, okay, which is played by the dungeon master versus the four heroes. So you can actually play with two people where one person plays all four heroes and one person plays Korak, and you could just move your pieces independently. I'll get back to the monsters in a second. What's cool is this is this Mace of Chaos, and this determines how the players move, like who goes next. So you take it, you shake it up, and then you bring them down, and each time the balls are going to change. So blue goes first, blue, yellow, green, red. So that's the order of the characters of who gets to move. So it could be, it's completely random on each turn who gets to go next. So maybe, you could get to go, almost like twice in a row. So that's the Mace of Chaos. And another creature here. We got skeletons, of course, and another healing potion. And sometimes I lost some of the little cards, so I just figure any of them that are lost just get a 1. So 1 hit point. So, as you can see, they're nicely sculpted. And then we have Mummy's Haunter. Okay, so that's... And then, all right, one of the really cool characters is the Haunter, right? Looks like Scream. And the way the Haunter works... And this is the only, and I can remember thinking this is probably, thought there should be more use for this 10-sided dice, or die. But what it is you roll it, and then each one of these lanes is numbered. So if you roll, let's say, a 6, then the Haunter sweeps across 6, and anything in his way, if it's monsters, they get killed. They come off the board. If it's a hero, he gets sent back to the beginning. I don't know. I don't like the idea that the monsters get killed. There just doesn't seem to be enough of them anyway. But, I haven't played it in so long, so I don't know. Maybe it works out all right. And there's secret doorways, and there's rules about... also, you know what? You roll the dice for the secret doorway, and that tells you if you roll certain numbers, you get to use... You see like a picture frame that turns. You see what's it's books and then a mirror, okay, on the other side. And so, you can jump from one to the other. And every character gets 3 moves, but that also can vary depending on how you use up your moves. All right, so that's a picture on one side and then a mirror on the other. All the doors open. So, and there's... The opening of the doors as you go through, the important thing about the opening doors is if you get kicked back to the beginning and you use the teleportation for your next move, you can see there's like a teleporter here. You can only teleport to the last door that was opened. So, that's how that works. So I guess you have to keep track of the doors. So in the treasure chest, here's another treasure chest. I am missing one of the golden weapons, so I'll have to come up with something for that. Or not. Maybe I could just play like, somebody doesn't get the golden weapon. So here's a golden axe. And then the last chest here. And you can't put the treasure chest behind a door. Something like that. There's all these little rules. You have to play, and then I guess, you just kind of get everything figured out as you're playing. All right, so there's your golden sword. So the instructions are pretty good. And you have a bunch of these cards. So you get these cards, and as you use them up, there's a stack of cards over here. And there's only two different kinds of cards. There's hit and miss. So when you're going through, you can attack. You get three, actually, to start with. So when you go through, you can choose your cards, whether you hit or miss, or swipe at them. The thing is you have the cards turned away from you, so you don't know what cards you're going to grab, actually. So the way they need to be in here is like that. All right, so then when you get finally through your dungeon, hopefully everybody makes it, then you get to this this pad here, which is the doom step. And once your characters all get to the doom step, they can't go back and they can't get sent back. So if they get knocked unconscious or something like that, they always go back to the doom step. Another couple things I wanted to show you as far as the what you get, as far as if you take out one of the enemies. This guy's got speed boots. So speed boots lets you do another move. So instead of 3 moves on your try, you get to do 4. And moves vary between attacking and actually moving spaces on the board. So you can, and other little things, there's also what you can use your moves for. So that's the speed boots. And also there's a grenade. And the rules around the grenade, I guess if you're really doing badly and you took out this monster and you have a grenade, then you can throw the grenade, and you have to throw it 2 spaces away from you because it sets off such an explosion. It doesn't go through walls, but it damages the players as well as taking out the monsters. So I guess you're gonna have to, one would have to practice that. There's also gold coins, and you get gold coins when you take out your monster. So this guy's got 5 hit points, and so you get various coins. They're turned down, and you get how many coins, that the hit points of the creature. And at the end of the game, you can add up the value of your gold coins. The coins have different values, like this is a 4. So you add up different values, and that can be how you can determine if there's actually a player that has more points than another player. Or you can just, you either defeat Korak or you don't. There's actually an advanced play mode too, where you can make the game even more difficult. So then you get to Korak's castle, and you can set up some of the monsters. Korak controls all of these, the mummies and the ogres and the orcs, and putting them around as the people are. There's no monsters on the board until the characters start moving through the rooms, and then there's a certain number of monsters with a limited amount of hit points that you can put in the rooms to attack the characters at any one time. So the people playing don't know what monsters are going to be in the room until they move into that room, and then Korak, as the dungeon master, decides which monsters he sends in there, or whether he even uses the Haunter. Okay, so the same thing would happen once you get to Korak's castle. But the first thing, or one of the big things you're going to have to fight, is the Manticore. And the Manticore is 6 hit points, so real big, powerful, and has a healing potion with him. So if you happen to take out the Manticore, but you can see that's a pretty cool looking lion, humanoid, scorpion. So real powerful. And then you even have here, you get through there and you mount the heroes. Actually, I think they mount up here, and they fight Korak. And then here is Korak, and he's like everything. He so many things that are considered to be bad. He is a cobra. He's a snake. So he's a snake dude. And, you got to deal with that. And you don't get anything if you take out him. You get a skull. So, all right. So that is Dark World. And here's the box. The back of the box is pretty neat. And so you can look at everybody here having fun. All right. So... all right, so they're playing. Yeah, so there he is. He's getting ready to make some chaos there. All right, so I was incorrect about which way the cards are turned. Oh, okay, so the miss cards are for the monsters missing you. And then the hit cards are for you hitting the monster. And it's a little bit of a complexity to go through here as far as how they work. But, there's rules about how to use the hit or miss cards and how it affects your turn and, when you get to use it and Korak throwing the dice and reducing the power of an enemy's attack. So, I'd have to go through this and figure it all out again. But anyhow, it does look like a really fun game. It's certainly a beautiful game. Definitely nice to look at. And I think what's really neat about it is basically you create a whole Dungeons & Dragons game that probably can be played in about an hour with relatively few rules and, a bunch of different variables that can happen to you. So, all right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Dark World. And... maybe you can, order one of those on eBay. And at some point, I might go get that Hero Quest and pull that thing out of the attic. But I have a bunch of things that I got from the parents' attic of chaos, and to go over and see what's in there. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.